I'm Natalia Rodriguez Diaz, and I'm from a small island called Puerto Rico. Born and raised in this beautiful tropical island, I grew up in a united community surrounded by family like my grandparents, cousins, and other family members. We did movie nights and game nights on Friday, we did trips or Girl Scout activities on Saturday, and church and get-togethers on Sunday. My family is everything to me, and since my grandpa died, I wanted to cherish every day and share as much time with my family as possible. I wanted every day to be a new adventure. When I was 6, I remember sneaking and watching so many movies, telenovelas, and shows that inspired me to create stories and put myself in their shoes and imagine myself in their world. I would create elaborated intrigues for my Barbies. My need to create these stories would extend to time with my family. I would drag my cousins and sister into elaborated games. We used to turn my grandma's house upside down, recreating shopping centers, doctors' offices. We would dress and act the roles and even invite other friends to participate. As my family got older and less eager to help me create my stories, I found myself alone sometimes. I would write, draw, paint, make videos, theater plays, and read books endlessly. I could never get enough. When it was time to make a decision on my future, I was stuck. I wanted it all. I couldn't understand how people could choose to do the same thing for the rest of their lives. And how could art be more than a hobby, but a career? Maybe I could be a painter, an art teacher? I wanted something more. It wasn't until I saw a documentary, The Making of Star Wars, that I noticed that artists make films, that I could make stories through art in film. And the best option in the moment for me was an internship in WAPA TV. I worked and learned how to work behind the scenes for a broadcast TV station. But it wasn't where I pictured myself long term. Many of the co-workers told me, go and study in universities that have a better film program than those in Puerto Rico. But I was determined to pursue my future in the home that I loved so much. I was focused on what I wanted. I had done projects outside of school, planned on writing and filming. I was learning, growing, and I thought it couldn't get better. So there I was on the first day of class, my second year of college. Our classes were stalled by Hurricane Irma, and when they finally started, our professors didn't introduce themselves properly. Everything felt disorganized and rushed as we tried to catch up the semester. I only had 2 days of class until
the National Hurricane Center has just issued their latest bulletin. It is still a Category 5, still 160 mile per hour sustained.
September 20th. Hurricane Maria hit my island. During the hurricane, I didn't give myself time to panic. I was taking videos, entertaining my family, trying to calm older family members. I saw how the hurricane wasn't only affecting the outside of my house, but the inside in a way where the house didn't look calming anymore. It was crowded, dark. Everyone looked wrecked physically and especially mentally. After the hurricane stopped, I thought that was it, but I think the worst part happened after the storm. My dad had to leave instantly because of his work with medicine. My mom had to assist the elders. And I was in charge of going to all of my elders' houses to clean out the water and unclog the roofs, plus find water, ice, gasoline. All that with no phone communication. Everything we had prepared, especially food, was already low. We had too many people to help and few places to find those resources. Our family that lived in the mainlands were terrified for us. Phones didn't work for days, and by the time we heard from them, our aunts in Orlando had purchased tickets for the first planes that would leave Puerto Rico. I didn't want to leave my home, but the future of my island was so uncertain. Food availability was a problem. We had elderly family members that needed specific care, and we didn't know when they could get it back again in Puerto Rico. So my aunt, myself, my grandmother, and my 2 great aunts got on a plane to Orlando. It seemed like the only responsible option, and it would make it easier for my mother and father to get the rest of the family back on their feet at home. I came to Florida as a refugee until my family convinced me to look for other long-term options. Local schools were offering scholarships for displaced Puerto Ricans to help us get our lives back on track. I started doing some research, and I found a university close to my grandma's that would offer me the education film that Puerto Rico couldn't. And so here I am at Fuso University. Hurricane Maria may have pushed me out of my island, away from my home and family I cherished, but it also pushed me to finally embrace a future on my own. Here in Orlando, I'm finally getting the education to set me up for a future where I can tell my stories and help others find their outlets for their imaginations in films like the ones I grew up loving. And I may no longer be on my island, but Puerto Rico will always be my home. And all the people and places that helped to make me who I am today are not as far out of reach as I feared they would be.